You remember the way? You did not forget, no? Way to UT from your home. How long did it take? 5 minutes. How are you all? Why you all are sitting at the last bench? Is it very enjoyable to sit at the last bench? हाँ? इसके रुद्र के साथ उतना दिन बाद वो आया है, उसके साथ हम लोग बैठे हैं, बातें नहीं करते हो, इसीलिए वो चला जाता है, वो आता ही नहीं है इसीलिए। हाँ, तुम्हारा दोस्त है ना? हाँ, तो उसके साथ बैठना चाहिए ना? उसको अकेला छोड़ दिया तुम लोगों ने? अकेले
लेवाल बैठता है उसके साथ। हाँ, लेवाल बैठता है। लेकिन हमको बैठना पड़ता है कि क्लासेस में कंटिन्यूअसली तो हाँ।
मेरा हमारा भाई क्यों नहीं आता है क्लास में? उसको पढ़ना नहीं है? घर पे बैठता है। हाँ? घर पे बैठ के क्या करता है वो? टीवी देखता है? टीवी देखता है? नहीं मैम, now, what did we finish? We finished with which chapter? Pollination and fertilization already over. Now, take out your notebook. We'll first of all do some questions on that chapter. Did we do some text questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Anish, या तो रुद्र के साथ बैठो। तुमको तो मन कर रहा है कि फर्स्ट बेंच में बिठाने के लिए। और द मार्क्स नाउ, अभी मार्क्स याद आया पिछले एग्जाम का? अभी तक भी नहीं याद आ रहा? कल है? हाँ, कल को याददाश्त सेव रहेगा ना, तो फिर को पेपर मिलेगा, फिर शाम को हम लोग मिलेंगे यहाँ पे। अभी मन नहीं करता है कि हर एक सब्जेक्ट में फुल मार्क्स मिलना चाहिए, कभी नहीं करता। दूसरों को आगे जाना चाहिए। वेरी जेनरस, इज वेरी जेनरस। दूसरों को भी आगे जाना चाहिए। और रुद्रा कुछ तो बोलो। हेलो हाय तो हो चुका है, आगे आगे हो गए। हाउ मेनी चैप्टर्स यू हैव मिस्ड? थोड़ी तुमको पढ़ना है, पेरेंट्स रो रहे होंगे वहां पे घर पे बैठ के, है ना? I think so far my knowledge says I think you have missed almost about 2-3 chapters. 2-3 chapters you have missed. Flower you were not there, pollination you were not there, and उसके पहले हमने क्या किया था? हाँ, टिश्यू तो अभी हिस्ट्री हो गया, काफी पहले हमने टिश्यू कंप्लीट किया। तुम देखने आए थे कौन सा फूल हम लेके गार्लैंड बना रहे हैं ना? Be very serious, Rudra. This way nature, हाँ? ये मैम का बैग होगा, ये तो ऑफिस स्टाफ के किसी का। चलो ना, take some questions फटाफट। Pollination, fertilization, text questions. Let me just go through one. I must have asked you to solve some text questions. Did we? No. Text questions, did we do? I think so. No? Yes. D we must have solved, and D1 and 3 we must have solved. Okay. E, the 2 diagram-based questions, done. Now, those of you haven't finished, please take a note. If you haven't done, complete these 2 questions. Page number 46. Check out. Page number 46. E, sub number 2 and 3. Are you done with these 2 questions? E sub number 2 and 3. E sub number 2 and 3 over. Nahi. Wow, excellent. Who is studying that book at home? Oh, new excuses. निकाला भी था, डालना भी भूल गया. नींद में हो अभी?
नहीं यार, नींद में था जब निकाला था, लोग गया यार.
चलो, I'll give you just 5 minutes. E complete करो. After that, I'll give you questions. Fast, fast, fast. Those of you who haven't finished these 2 questions and the rest objective, we will do it as homework. Huh? करो. Bhakti and Ashita. Why your name is so tough? I forget every time. Ashita. Ashita. चलो चलो, just 5 minutes. I'm going to ask you the answer now. Textbook है तुम्हारे पास, आशिता? चलो, textbook निकालो. E sub number 2 and 3 करो. ये राखी है कि फ्रेंडशिप बैंड है तुम्हारा?
हम राखी हैं.
अरे, do you know the names of your sisters?
Yeah.
Thank you. चलो, fast. 5 minutes. Sir, 5 minutes. हाँ. आशिता. पेज नंबर 40 कौन सा है बताओ अनिश? पेज 46. 46 में ई सब नंबर 2 and 3 करो. 5 minutes. 2 और 3 फटाफट. वॉल्यूम है किसके पास? वॉल्यूम है. We'll start with C. फटाफट करो. Time, in time. One is exime, 2 is in time. Exime, in time.
मिठाई की नहीं अच्छी मिठाई मैंने सही हुआ था मैं तो आगे उसका तो नहीं लेके जाते मैं तो मदरसे भी आके बना रहे हैं तो ज्यादा है बोला तो ठीक है उसके पास लेकिन बनवाने वाला था मैं सुबह कितने देर की बनवा रही है
डन कंफ्यूजन है कोई करो फास्ट Ashita, tell me the answers for the first question. Number 2. Number 2, question number 2. Keep answering. Name the parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1. Generated influence of formulas. Number, both the terms are correct. Huh? Number B, where does the germination of the pollen grain take place and how? Where does it take place? Germination, where does it take place? Germination takes place on the stigma. How? How does germination take place? The pollen grain, how they are talking about. The first part is where. For that answer, you are writing stigma. For the next part, how? For that, you are writing a sentence. Germination takes place by the formation of pollen tube and division of the sperm nucleus into 2 nuclei. That is okay, but how, when you are talking about how does germination take place? Germination means what? How does germination take place? For that you have to write germination, meaning now that the pollen is on the stigma. Where does the germination take place? On the stigma. How does it take place? By division of the nucleus of the pollen into 2 nuclei, that is the sperm nucleus and the tube nucleus, followed by formation of the pollen tube. These 2 points you have to write. Write down that answer, all of you. How? For that, how? One sentence has to be written. Write down that. How does germination of pollen take place? That is the question. Is not so. How does germination of pollen take place? Division of the nucleus of the pollen into 2 nuclei. Division of the nucleus of the pollen into 2 nuclei. Division of the nucleus of the pollen into 2 nuclei, comma, and formation of pollen tube. And formation of pollen tube. Where, remember, it is stigma. Go to the next question. Next question is what? What is the functional part labeled 4? Part labeled 4 kya hai? Tube nucleus. What I supposed to write? What is the function? Provides nourishment during the development, or provides nourishment for formation of male gametes. Provides nourishment for formation of male gametes. Because provides nourishment for formation of male gametes. Provides nourishment for formation of male gametes. Provides nourishment for formation of male gametes. Next question. What is next? What happens to the part labeled by during the process? Which is 5? During the process. Germinative nucleus or sperm nucleus divides to form 2 male gametes. During germination, it further divides, no? Divides to form 2 male gametes. Germinative nucleus or sperm nucleus divides to form 2 male gametes. Divides to form 2 male gametes. हो गया? Go to the next question. फटाफट करो. Number 6. 6, no? Number 3. करो. Number 3. Fast. हाँ, doubt. Take the parts. First of all, let us label the parts. You have to label the parts. One क्या है? One is style. Very good. Number 2, 3, embryo sac or ovule. Embryo sac or ovule. 4. What is 4? Let's check. 4. Let me see. What is number 4? Where is number 4? Okay, number 4 is ovule. No, then number 3 should be embryo sac. Then number 3 should be what? Number 3 should be central cell. No, it is not exactly marked.
Should be central cell. It is central.
It is central cell. Central cell is actually when the two polar nuclei fuse. Central cell is actually when the two polar nuclei fuse. उसको बोलते हैं central cell या secondary cell. But here they have marked it away from both the two nuclei. The marking is a little bit not very correct. It should be either marking on the polar nuclei or they should have shown two fused. So anyways, you have to mark it as central cell then. So 4 is egg cell. I'm sorry, embryo sac or ovule. Then where is 5? Okay, 5 is antibodies. And what about 6? What is 6? Microbiologists? Number 6. Number 6 is microbiome. Number 6 is microbiome. It's exactly at the base. Number 6 is microbiome.
And I am looking on the exam. We are not about that. What is microbiome?
You have to clarify with the teacher that we are not able to understand. Can you just draw and show us? That's it. If you cry, then only you will get food. Finished. When nobody hears you, you have to yell, shout, unless and until somebody is giving us.
Yes, ma'am.
What? Got minus in bio.
No, ma'am.
Geography.
Now
I'm saying yell and shout literally does not mean that you have to really yell. A 9th standard student will not yell. No. But you have to make it clear to the teacher that I'm not able to understand. Can you please draw and show? So that she can draw and show and put the mark because she knows what is the question. No? So that is what I'm saying. Unless and until you are clear about the question, you are writing, assuming something and you get it wrong. Whatever. Vedant, bolo, baki answers? You finish?
I'm trying to you.
That part is over, Vedant. Now come to the next one. What happens to ovary and ovule after fertilization? Very good. Next is what is the function of synergies? Function of synergy. Provide nourishment for the development of the zygote, for the development of the embryo. Provide nourishment during the development of 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 embryo. Done. Attendance sheet, visit, attendance sheet. चलो next. Online है? Wow. Shreya, no, that girl. Next, we are forgetting our own birthdays in the entire process. See, you all are enjoying your life. Of course, enjoy. It's your age now. But पढ़ाई को भूल के नहीं enjoy करना है. No, yes. You know, there's an animal. I wanted to tell that for a long time, but I did not want to say. There's an animal who keeps on chewing cud. No?
Cow.
So never mind. He's making his teeth strong. किसी ने बोला होगा. Huh? Non-stop. You are chewing, and that's not a very good etiquette also, isn't it? Naturally. Come to the last question. What part is this? Last question. What's his name? I forget. Nilesh. Last question.
To the stigma of the plant.
The question is what? Question is what?
What part does the stigma play in the process?
What does the stigma play? It is a passage for the
Transportation of the
transport of the male gametes. It is not pollen grain actually, because the pollen grain has already started the process of development. Germination has happened, and what is getting transferred? It is not the pollen grain which is getting transferred by the pollen tube. It is the male gamete which is getting transferred. What is the pollen grain? The one which was sitting on the stigma. And the one which is getting transferred by the pollen tube is not the pollen grain. It is actually the male gamete. The nuclear part only getting transferred.
So inside the pollen grain is a male gamete.
Inside the pollen grain is just a single nucleus. And when it comes in contact with the correct stigma, now the nucleus starts developing. And now you will call it as the male gamete. Now this is not the pollen grain. And that's the reason for allowing the passage. That tube, the passage pathway has to be made. Pollen tube. Done all these questions? Volume, continue volume.
So after the pollen grain, the part of the right stigma, it then becomes the male gland, right?
Then it will start the germination. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, no. Hello, volume page 51. Question number 1. Question of worksheet questions. Take worksheet questions 1, 2. Take worksheet questions 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go, whatever. Worksheet questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. है volume सबके पास? किसी के पास textbook नहीं, तो किसी के पास volume नहीं.
इसके बाद
किसके पास दुकान के पास नहीं है. He's also coming for a birthday party only almost. Chalo, solve from this
page number
which one I said 51. 51. Nilesh, you have the book. Karo. And from next class, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Question 1, 2, 3, 4. Worksheet questions 51. In the volume. Outer integument of the ovary forms. Outer integument. Integument means the outer cover. Siege coat. Vedant, please stop chewing that and be a little bit serious in the class.
Yeah.
हाँ भक्ति एंड चलो फटाफट कंप्लीट करो. You have to read all these chapters and we have missed all these chapters and this is a big chapter for English literature. You have to read it.
What is the time and measure at the same time?
Different typogamy.
No, but I don't think
What is it?
Same grade, so there is no recommendation for that.
Same, and that is actually known as homogamy. Homogamy is there in the book.
Like overall is there no?
Okay.
How homogamy?
Okay.
Now an exam is asked that coordination brought about by the HPC of L. Because it was wind pollinated or animal pollution.
Meaning pollinated by
Eh,
air and wind is same.
Coordination brought about by the HPC of L. So should be that wind pollinated or animal pollution.
Anemophily. No, anemophily.
as for the
Pollination carried out by wind, anemophily. Maize is an example of dash plant, anemophilous.
हम total notebook में लिखेंगे.
What's up? Differences, no? Differences you write in the notebook. Make a column and write in the notebook. Differences. Okay, what are the key questions there? Differences.
Give 4 differences between insect and new pollinated flowers. Several state and 3 differences found in flowers with yellow cross boundary.
Number 4, write in the notebook. All of it. Number 4, write in the notebook. Complete karo. Last 5 minutes to complete karo. I want to start with the next chapter now. digestive system, Abhi. Why you don't, where is it? When is your exam? 19 September. What are the portions? Seed is not there. No. Seed is not there. For all of you,
Last year is there.
seed is there. And what are the other chapters?
Digestive system, nutrition.
अच्छा. So
तो नहीं पता है, कुछ पता है हाँ कुछ भी पता है
and what are the other chapters apart from these two?
I think पहले के दो you know
So those chapters we have finished, clarified. Acha, then in that case, and what about this side, North Point? When is your exam?
8th October.
8th October. And your chapters are, do you know your chapters?
but we have made it there.
Pollination, fertilization.
No. Yes.
Okay. So if seed is the only chapter left for you all, then I can.
It's not only that.
There are more.
I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Tell me tomorrow, so then in that case, so I will take that chapter on, digestive system, digestive system के पहले nutrition is with study. Nutrition नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो digestive system when I start, every time I have to take the reference of the previous chapter, so it will be double roll and wasted of time also. So if you want digestive system to be done, for you all is, this chapter say, tell me the portion tomorrow, huh? So, if digestive system, if you want to switch over, then nutrition I have to take first. Okay, nutrition पहले लेना पड़ेगा, then digestive system.
Ma'am, instead of one quarter का हमने एक आधा note
Yes,
दिया।
sir.
You have written? Okay, then you go to the next question. Hello, then no need to repeat again. To the next question and wind up. Next question करो. See that? What is it?
I'm state 3, any
Ah.
three vaccine found in car with stable cross pollination.
Cross pollination. देखो,
Type code.
देखो. These questions you will take down. We will not discuss in the class. You will take it as homework. Let's take down these questions in your notebook. You will take it. You will do it as homework. I will check tomorrow. Tomorrow when we meet. What is it? All of you take down these questions fast. This we will do as homework and show me tomorrow. Many things from this chapter you have to go through. Many different type of questions will come from this chapter. No talking.
What are the conditions?
Which one?
Fourth one.
One plant each for protandry and protogynia. मतलब एक एक एग्जाम्पल लिखना है.
मैम वो क्वेश्चन लिखा था हमने फैंसी के नॉट रिसर्च
अच्छा, तो फिर इसे सिंप्लीफिकेशन करेंगे. Fast. These are few points that you have to remember. All these are 1 mark questions.
Mark.
Some I must have given you. If it is so, then you may not repeat. You said which one you have done, number 5, no?
what is eight one what is
Emasculation. अच्छा. Few more questions that you have to take up. Note in this chapter, examples quite a number, differences you will get, examples to remember. Okay, so all this you have to study. Done? All of you took down these questions. So just some additional questions. Let us now start with this chapter. Feed. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. We started about nutrition, I said, no? Nutrition. So let us study nutrition. Nutrition. So when we are talking about what is the definition of the word nutrition? When I talk about foodstuffs, are these two terms the same? When I'm talking about foodstuffs and nutrition, are these two terms the same? Are these two terms the same? Nutrition and foodstuffs?
Now it's still chapter भी हमारे exam में this is H2 and
Tell me the correct question tomorrow. Then we'll have to take a call how much in this time period. First of all, tell me what is the difference you understand between nutrition and foodstuffs. Foodstuff, can you give me 2 examples? Foodstuffs. Pizza. तो और अच्छा कुछ याद नहीं आ सकता है. Even more worse. रोटी सब्जी. और अब वो कुछ ज्यादा ट्रेडिशनल हो गया है.
Any food we.
Food items. What do you understand by foodstuffs, Rudra? Foodstuffs. When we are talking about foodstuffs mean any type of a food. It can be an apple, it can be a glass of milk, it can be an egg, it can be the bread, it can be the roti, right? Anything. Foodstuffs. But now when I talk about the word nutrition, what is nutrition? What is nutrition? Nutrients together from the nutrition. Nutrition क्या है पता है? What is nutrition? It is a process by which we take in food and utilize the nutrients. So nutrients क्या हो गया? What are nutrients then? What are nutrients? What are nutrients? I would say that milk is a foodstuff, and milk has proteins in it. Milk has fats in it. Milk has vitamins in it. So now that I'm talking about protein, fats, vitamins, these are what? Proteins, fats, vitamins, these are nutrients. Then what are nutrients? How will you define what are nutrients? Nutrients are the chemical substances present in the foodstuffs. Nutrients are the chemical substances present in the foodstuffs, which may fall in 2 categories: complex or simple. So when I talk about complex chemical substances, what are some of the complex chemical substances? Carbohydrates and proteins and fats. And when I talk about the simpler substances like vitamins and minerals and water and rocket, etc. Bhakti, how much you can मेडल मिलना चाहिए तुमको बात करने के लिए नॉन स्टॉप. इसके क्लास में कौन है इसकी क्लास में? सेम सेक्शन नॉट को है ना? हाँ तुम नहीं उसके सेक्शन में. हाँ तो कोई ना कोई होता होगा यहाँ पे. तो कोई है कि नहीं? वेदांत को छोड़ दिया तुम लोग. डोंट टॉक नॉन स्टॉप. शी विल टॉक. आशिता
आप तो सिखा रही थी. नाम बोल रहा हूँ. देखो नाम बोली जाए लगा. मोबाइल मैसेज कर रहे हैं.
Shakti, concentrate. So now that we are talking about foodstuffs, first of all, we are talking about food items, very simple. Foodstuffs are food items. And then when we are talking about nutrition, the process by which we take in food and utilize it in our body. Say suppose you eat an apple. There is no system by which that apple gets digested and the nutrients enter into the blood. That apple is just a waste. You are drinking a glass of milk, but there is no system in the body by which the nutrients of the milk would get utilized, go to the blood, reach the tissues. Never mind how many glasses of milk you are drinking, it's just a waste. So now that we are talking about nutrition, it is a process. What are nutrients? Chemical substances. But what is the meaning of the word balanced diet? We have come across this quite often. What is balanced diet? Nilesh and Vedant. Nilesh, तुमसे ही उम्मीद नहीं थी। तो अगर तुम अच्छे हो, जब पास में कोई बदमाशी करता भी हो, you will give a tight slap. That is what I do. I don't want to be disturbed. I'll give a tight slap. Finish. But if you are also enjoying the feeling, then very good. I have nothing to say. Oh, expert commenter views, you know.
मास्क ऊपर करके बैठा है ऐसे कर
Now, right on this definition, this 4 definition. Okay, first of all, tell me what do you know about this balanced diet? One sentence में कैसे describe करोगे balanced diet? You know what is balanced diet? Balanced diet.
A diet that has necessary amount of nutrition and
Necessary amount of all
the nutrients and minerals.
Nutrients and minerals. Do you take balanced diet?
No.
No, mostly not.
Yeah.
Mostly not. If we are mostly, when we talk about our traditional food that we are talking about is healthy, but may not be a balanced form of a diet, because our food basically starts this way. Our food basically starts with carbohydrates, no? In most of our traditional Indian food starts with carbohydrates, and then fats यहाँ पे नहीं आता. उसके carbohydrates के बाद आता है fats, उसके बाद आता है proteins, where actually by the rule of balanced diet this should come first. Protein सबसे ज़्यादा होना चाहिए in our adequate amount of food, or in every meal that we take. Protein should be quite a lot, then followed by carbohydrate, and fat should be an adequate amount also, with enough amount of vitamins and minerals. So when we are talking about balanced diet, again there is a myth. Remember, we come across people who are too much, excessively they are health conscious, and they would be constantly munching on the fruits and the vegetables the entire day. They don't want to touch a spoon of carbohydrate, no sugar, nothing, no fats, nothing. And these are the people who would be having no energy left in their body, who they'll be left only eating those fruits and vegetables the entire day. So when we are talking about, should we actually eat only fruits and vegetables the entire day? No. Is that the way by which we will be remaining healthy for a long time? No. That is just a myth to say that we don't take carbohydrates, so we are healthy. We don't take fats, so we are healthy. No, remember, an adequate amount of carbohydrate is very much necessary for our body to provide instant energy. An adequate amount of fats are very much necessary to keep our nerve cells active, to keep our bones functional, to keep our various other different type of tissues like the ligaments, tendons functioning. So when we are talking about, and to reserve adequate amount of fat in the skin. So when we are talking about fats, should we consume fats? Yes, we should. So now the ultimate concept is, what is called a balanced diet? Balanced diet is the adequate amount of nutrients that we should include in our meal. Adequate amount of proteins. What does the protein do in our body? Builds up the tissues, helps in the process of repair, growth, etc. What does the carbohydrate do? Carbohydrate provides our body with instant amount of energy. What does the fats do? As I said, fats, good fats, when we are talking about, provides us with adequate amount of energy, plus it also keeps the various different type of important cells of our body active, like the nerve cells, the skin cells, etc. What does the minerals and the vitamins do? The minerals and the vitamins are protecting us from protective foods, they are called as. They protect us from various different type of diseases, though we take them in trace amounts. So we start with this definition first.
That
Right.
cheese is a healthy fat.
What is? Cheese is a healthy fat. Ghee is a healthy fat.
And why is the burger considered?
No, burger is not considered junk provided you take one burger in 3 days. Because you are talking about a large amount of that cheese. Ghee is considered good if provided 2 spoons of ghee you are consuming every day. But if I am consuming 5-6 parathas every day, then obviously that is not considered. So adequate amount. So if I'm talking about carbohydrate also, 2 spoons of sugar, 3 spoons of sugar every day, if you are consuming, that's not bad enough. But if you are consuming almost about 100 grams of sugar per day in various different type of food, then it is not very healthy enough to understand. The first definition for nutrition, write on the name of the chapter, nutrition, and let us start with the definition. The first few definitions which are very, very important. Nutrition, the process by which we take in, the process by which we take in, nutrients, the process by which we take in nutrients and utilize them to reach our cells and tissues. So now the definition always is the process of intake and utilization of nutrients. Process of intake and utilization of nutrients is nutrition. Come to the next definition, nutrients. The chemical substances organic and inorganic. The chemical substances, organic and inorganic. Present in various foodstuffs. Is, I'm sorry, cut that word, is present in various foodstuffs are nutrients. Example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, etc. Write down all these. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, etc. Next, we talk about foodstuffs or food. What is the definition of the word food or foodstuffs? The same thing, I can talk about food also. Food or foodstuffs, what does that mean? Food items that we consume. Let us talk about this balanced diet. We go definition, balanced diet. The adequate amount of each type of nutrient. Adequate amount of each type of nutrient that should be included in our meal. Is known as balanced diet. Now, if I talk about balanced diet again, remember, we are understanding that to talk about the concept of balanced diet, say suppose I may understand that for a particular age group, when I talk about something around 2 years to 5 years, an adequate amount of 500 grams of carbohydrate per day is required. Can I say that same is necessary for maybe when I talk about 500 grams of carbohydrate, something for the young age groups are something like 1 year to 5 years, I said. Will it be the same when I'm talking about 10 years to 20 years? No, it will be something bit higher. And will it be the same when I'm talking about 70 to 80 years? No, it will be much lower. Why? Because as and when we grow, initially the requirement keeps on increasing. And as and when we keep on aging, the requirement has to be decreased because the body's capacity of utilization, as you had written, the body's capacity of utilization decreases. The digestive process is weak enough. So balanced diet, I'm saying, balanced diet for you and balanced diet for your mother and balanced diet for your grandfather will not be the same. So I cannot say that 500 grams of carbohydrate, a child of 5 years, and an individual of 15 years, and an individual of 50 years, all of them should take 500 grams of carbohydrate per meal. No, that is not ideal. With age group, the quantities differ. When the process of cell division and growth is maximum, quantities should increase. And when the process of growth has become stable and not declining, the quantity should be decreased. We talk about this last few terms, appetite. What do you understand about this word appetite? What is appetite?
Hunger.
Very often we talk about appetite. What is appetite?
The hunger.
The urge of taking food.
Yes.
The necessity that we feel. The appetite for food. When do you feel very hungry? When do you feel that the appetite is too much? After the days of muscular activity, after your entire day of school, or you went for some sports and etc. When do you feel, did you ever feel that the appetite today, the appetite is not much and you don't feel like eating much? When is the appetite much lesser?
When there is no physical activity.
Or maybe tomorrow there is an exam, we are not well prepared, and the appetite is much lesser. Whenever we are stressed, the appetite is much lesser. So that is what gives us an indication that what is our urge to take in food. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's lower. We'll continue. These are just introductory terms, and then next class we'll start with the categories of nutrients. Yes. Who follows the balanced diet? Who? All follow the balanced diet. Many people follow the balanced diet, but I say are basically traditional food. Understand? Many of your household you may follow. But provided there is a typical quantity of every variety of food. But mostly in Indian households, we generally don't follow balanced diet.
उस